Okay, today we're gonna have a little fun, switch things up a little bit. We're gonna do some graphics. We're gonna work on our background here. We're gonna change the color here, and then we're gonna create a graphic header. Now, for this, of course, this is not a um, course in doing graphic editing and such, but of course, this is part of it, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do graphics, and so we can start to kind of make this site a little more colorful and start personalizing some things. So for this, you're going to need a few programs which you can get the links to, as you can see here that are on the page here. We're going to be using Instant Eyedropper. We're going to be using Gimp, and also we're going to be using Irfanview. And these are the only three graphic or editing type of programs that I use. And I'm going to show you how I do it. Now, of course, you're going to need some images for this. And again, go out to the free sites that are listed there for getting your graphics. And we'll go over here to one of my favorites, and you're just going to type whatever it is, whatever your product is, or whatever you're interested in, whatever you feel you need to, the type of graphic that you're looking for, just type it in, and you'll get a listing of different, all types of images here. And as you can see, you can go through and look for something that you like. And the thing to look for, once again, is because this stuff is free, but of course you want to check the licensing on it and see if it says something like public domain. That's great because the rights have expired and you know you can use it. So anything, always look at the rights and it'll tell you right there if it's free to use. So go ahead, get the graphics that you want to use, create a folder, which I've done here. Go back to your project folder, and I've created a folder here for headers, and I have some images here that I want to use for my header. Before we do the header, what we're going to do though is we're going to go in here and we're going to do the background first. So let's go to our dashboard and let's go down to appearance and go to background. Now, as you can see here, this is pretty blank. Right now, it's not showing us anything. If you have an image, of course, you can upload that and use it as a background. But what I want to do is I'm just going to use a color, a straight color. And to keep with the theme principle of the project, the product that we're doing here, I'm going to use a color from within our .WordPress logo here. So what we're going to do is if you find colors that you like and you're not sure of what the number is for it, you can use Instant Eyedropper, and that's what this is a fantastic program. You just go ahead and turn it on there, and then once it's turned on, you'll see up here in your tray you have this little icon here. So you just press that and hold it, and as you drag, you see whatever you drag over, it changes the number on it and it gives you the color code. I'm going to take this blue color right in here, and once you have the color that you want, you just release that and it copies it to the clipboard. So let's go back in here and we're going to go ahead and paste that color in. And then as you can see now we have this is what we're going to get. Let's save the changes. Go over here, we're going to refresh, and now we have a nice, WordPress bluish type of background, and it's the lighter color. And just to make sure, I'm gonna go over this again and see. As you can see, it's changing as I go up. Actually, I want to get the lighter color, more of a warm color. So I'm gonna go up here a little bit, and I'm gonna grab that color. I'm gonna go in here and let's paste that one in and see if that makes a difference there. There we go. So that's a little, let's go back, a little lighter, a little warmer, because I'm going to go a little darker for the text part. So that takes care of our background. Now we want to go ahead and start working on this. Now I use Gimp, and I go ahead and open up your Gimp, and this is a photo editing or image editing type of graphic software like Photoshop. Gimp is free, and like anything else, there's a slight learning curve on it, but it's a perfect program. Now once you get it open, yours may look a little different than mine because I just show the toolbar here, and you just want to make sure you do have the toolbar showing because this is the part we're going to be using. We have our all of our different tools within here, and that's basically what you want. So we have that open, and what we're going to do is we're going to go in here now and go to our appearance and then go to our header. WordPress gives you headers that are built in. You have the default, and then you can pick any of these, but of course we want to make our own. So that's what we're going to do in Gimp, and it's showing you here the dimensions that it wants you to use, 940 by 198. So let's go in here to our Gimp, and we're going to go File and then New, and then we're going to select our width and height, and it's telling us it wants 940 by 198. So we'll put that in. Let's hit OK, and now we have our header. So first thing I want to do here is I'm going to just go here and just start typing in some stuff because I'm going to make this we're just going to put a WordPress training in here. So go into your tools palette, and you're going to select your text tool. If you're familiar with Photoshop or any similar type of program, this should be pretty standard for you, but if you follow along, you'll be able to create as we go along here. You'll see. So you click on that, click within the space that you want to write in, and right in here we're going to just type in WordPress training videos. Okay, now and the reason I'm just going to go with that is because we have WordPress tutorial videos, which is going to be seen here, but so I want this to say something a little different, so that's why we're going with just WordPress training videos. Now let's go back over here to our toolbox, and as you can see here, when you have a tool selected, it's going to show up here once you select it. I like to have fonts and layers as well. I only have these three showing here down in my work area, and if you don't have these and you want to put these, there'll be a little arrow here that you can click on, and you can go to add a tab, and then from within this tab you can add these. You can add the layers, you can add all these if you want, but again I just like to have the layers and tool options and fonts, because that's really all I use. So that's what we have. We have our fonts right here, our layers, our active layers. We have our background, which we create when we first make the size dimensions. Then we have now a text area. If I double click right on there, you'll see it'll pop up here that we've just created. So these are each layers. Every time you create something or add something, you're making another layer. So right now we just have two. So I want to go ahead now and I want to give this give this text some color and a font and everything. So let's go here and click on the actual text itself, and let's just enlarge that again. Let's take that up to about, I don't know, let's try 80. Let's take it up to about an 80 point, I guess. Okay, and now let's go ahead up here to our move tool. Click on the move tool. Make sure you are moving the active layer. Just click that. If we click on layers, you'll see if we click on this layer now, it highlights it, and we can go in here and we can just move this. Okay, it's a little big, but let's go ahead and pick a font. So I'm on fonts, and I'm just going to go down. Once you're on fonts, you can just kind of go down, but again, make sure you're on the correct layer. Double click, make sure you have this active. I'm going to go in here again, click on fonts, And now as we go down, you can see the font changes for us. So picking a font, again, that's just kind of personal choice, you know, what you like. I like that one right there. That kind of looks like the W on WordPress. So now we have a good font. Now we want to go ahead and take it. We could, as you can see, we're still moving it. When you click on it, you see it's still highlighted. We're still moving it. Let's just put it up there, and let's give it a color as well. Let's go back, make sure we're on the active layer. We have it, comes up there. Go over to the font. You can see it's black right now. Click on the color, and we're going to make this a darker color. So once again, I'm going to go back to this image here. I'm going to click on my eyedropper, and I'm going to make it this darker blue. So I'm just going to release that, go back in here. I'm going to put that color in there. Click on this little eyedropper, and it changes. As you can see, you hit OK, and now it changes our color to that darker. So that looks good. So let's go ahead now and put in some image stuff. Let's go to my folder here, my header folder. Now I have a graphic here, and as you can see as I hover over it, this graphic is way big. It's 1024 by 1024. I think I'm gonna make it probably about I don't know, let's say 125 pixels maybe. So let's go ahead and right click on that, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open this up in Gimp as well and resize it, because right now it's a little big for what we want to do. And you can see the image comes up and it's really big, so let's resize that. Let's go to the image, and let's go ahead and go to the canvas size, or is it scale? I think let's go to scale. Let's go to scale, and it's 1024 by 1024. Let's make that about 125 pixels. Make sure this is clicked, because if this chain is clicked, when you put 125 here and down there, it will automatically keep the perspective for you. So it's going to give us 125 by 125, and we scale it now down. As you can see, it's a nice smaller image. We're going to go to the image, and we're going to go save as. And as you can see, if you get a box here, let's click on this so that we can get to our folder, so we can keep it into the correct folder. And as you can see, I'm in the header folder, so that's good. And I'm going to name this just WP 125. Make sure it's a .png, because that's what it was originally, and we want to keep it transparent. Hit save. Keep these at the defaults. Hit save again, and then now it should have saved this image. If we go back here, let's go ahead and close that and go over here back to our folder here, and you can see we now have an image that is 125 pixels and it's still transparent. Let's take it. I'm going to drag it over here and drop it in to our work area. We go to my layers, and I can see, make sure I'm clicked on the WP 125 image. I'm going to click on my move tool, okay, because I want to move this image. And when I click on it, you'll see the little thing, and I'm just going to move it over here. And actually, I'm going to put it, actually, this just gives me an idea. I like the idea of putting it just like this and making that my W. What we want to do here is go back in now to our text, double click it, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm just going to take out that W, because I kind of like the idea of that. I'm going to close that out, and I'm going to hit move again, make sure I'm on my text, and that's highlight. I'm going to move that over like that, because I think that looks kind of slick. Okay, just click on your background to kind of get a look of how it looks, see how it's going to be, and I like that. So that's the beginnings of it. I'll make this, I'm going to stop this video here and then pick it up in part two to just to chop this up a little bit.